I bet.
We got our little stools backwards. It's okay. Populous.
Populace would take their ease, please.
Open court.
Here now opens the final court of their majesties, Anton and Lilith.
So, first thing we want to say is thank you. Thank you for putting the effort to come in today. Thank you for the effort that you have supported, not just this reign, but the kingdom for the last better part of a year and a little bit. It's not about the job that the great officers did. It's not about the job that the Baron and Baronesses did. And it's not about the job that this team before you did. It's the effort that was put forth by the members of the kingdom that keep the kingdom vital. And for that, all of us owe you thanks. So let's make this a fun day, a great day of celebration. We're going to transition the reign, and we're going to look forward to the future. I think this is absolutely wonderful.
For those of you who watched our weekly messages as they evolved, you saw the pups that as they came from like this big to what they are now. So we brought them so everybody could see their journey. This is Murphy and Morgan. They're both very friendly. So after court, if anybody wants to come up and say hey, they can.
So the reign's been long enough. The dogs have grown. I've had 2 knees replaced, and Her Majesty's patience has been tested. So, everything's wonderful. Let's go forward.
Their majesties will be attended by any newcomers here today.
Newcomers, what you're going to see today.
There's one! Yay!
Excellent.
Maybe not. Yay! I thought there was another one.
She's been before. Now you're on your
Ah,
I'm on in. So, first event.
Yes.
So this is how we change our governance. Our royalty we select by crown turning, and normally after a 6-month reign, you step down and you pass the opportunity. The greatest job there is in the SCA is being king and queen. You get to give awards, and there's so much satisfaction in that. So you're here on a really special day for us, and I want to say thank you for putting the effort to come in. I know that it probably wasn't the easiest thing to do today, but welcome. And if you have questions afterwards, find us after we step down. Anyone here will be glad to help you. So,
please accept this as a token.
Oh, thank you.
Remember, you're our first step.
so cheers to the newcomer.
For the newcomer, who has been representative of all the newcomers in the kingdom and those who brought them along. Vivos! 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 Their majesties require the attendance of Lady Prudence the Curious, who is likely to be found at gate.
Does she need to be fetched?
Yes, please. Shall I fetch her?
Please fetch her. Someone, yes? Oh, I think someone's got her. Thank
Somebody's
you.
got her.
So we ask her the question, and then we call in the order.
Okay.
I'll take the question if you want, and you can drive from there.
She doesn't know anything about this stuff. No, nothing at all.
So she could say no.
She could.
Well, that would be fantastic.
This is okay. You're yeah. Okay. Just sit it right there.
Okay, baby.
If you would approach and kneel, please.
I have a question for you this day. We are minded to induct you into the Order of the Pelican. with your consent, we would move forward.
Yes.
Call forth the order.
She said yes. Their Majesties call forth the order of the Pelican.
You want to tell them to stay behind the camera? You want to stay behind the camera?
Me?
Do they need to stay behind the camera?
Pelicans can stay there so we don't obtrude the view.
Well, they can come forward over here.
Or over here.
Just come over there.
Know that they can. We probably do.
Ah, the day of modern.
I mean, just like at a SCA event before this, when everyone came up, everyone in the stands would just simply see their backs. Now,
Yeah, now we're more mindful. We're not blocking the view.
Your Majesty?
All right. So many have worked hard today to make this happen, and we have some words and some items to move this along. The words.
If I may.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Your Majesties and Prudence. Are you going to be okay? I don't know. This has been a long time coming. I have words from Baron Larry from the East, who is the only peer this person has ever been a student to. He was unable to attend. Your Majesties and Your Highnesses, wherever you are, members of the peerage orders and all those who can hear the sound of my words, I am Master Lawrence Thorngard, Baron Ironbog, 50th Pelican of the East Kingdom, and Prudence's former Pelican. I have known Prudence since Olaf and Iceland second reigned upon the thrones of Atlantia. This is when she began her long journey to become the person who is now before Your Majesties. Prudence has worked endlessly for more than 16 years, not in one kingdom, but throughout many kingdoms. She has served in local offices and regional offices, done kingdom-level work, worked as a scribe, an autocrat, a cook, and a laborer. She is the gentle who shows up early to help, works throughout the day, aids in cleaning up after most of us have gone home. When volunteers are called for, she is always one of the first to raise her hand, which is how we made sure she was here today. She is the part of that unseen force that keeps our society moving forward. Prudence has served our society for more than 30 years. Penzic Wars, she has worked thankless hours. At Troll, if you've come through gate at home, you've probably seen this lady there. Prudence does this unnoticed but critical part of our society's largest annual event for both weeks. While she is there, she works the good shifts, the bad shifts, the double shifts of anybody who can't make it. When I say it is work, it is because the job is not glamorous. It can be frustrating and generally not appreciated. Yet, while doing this work, she greets everyone with a warm and welcoming, respectful charm. If there is a problem, she does her best to solve it. It is true that Prudence can, at times, be opinionated.
Good.
And speak her mind in a direct and forceful manner. However, it is peer-like to speak the truth, regardless of the consequences, and to stand by your words. Prudence does that. I can say without any reservation to Your Majesties that Prudence has made our society better and would be lesser place without her. Therefore, I respectfully request on behalf of the Venerable Order of the Pelican that Your Majesties recognize Lady Prudence the Curious as the peer I know her to be and induct her into the Order of the Pelican. I made it through. You did not.
Oh, wait on that piece.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Duchess Brianna, I believe you have a cloak,
Your Majesties,
please.
this was made by my hand
and embroidered by Master Torian, which, you know, I don't use that machine, so there we go.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Lovely.
Know this, that will not only keep you warm, but it is to envelop you in the order and personally in our love. Thank you, Your Majesties.
And Countess Rowan has sent a clasp for your cloak.
I believe there is a cap of maintenance from Mistress Karashina.
I'll take the paperwork.
Oh, here she comes.
Keith, give me the paper.
Did I say it right, Karashina?
Yes. You never say anything wrong when you're in court. This is a lovely cap of maintenance. This, however, will not get you out of sweeping the floors at the children's fete. I recommend you not wear it.
No, no. There's very little.
Just during that one period.
Yeah.
Does it go this way or does it go this way? Does it
Goes,
matter?
I think it goes this way.
Point forward.
Forward.
Pointy.
There is an active debate about which way it goes.
I've seen it both ways. Yes.
It's on your head. You can wear it any way you like.
That's right. It's yours now.
It's mine.
So Prudence, this box contains missives and signatures from worthies who would have spoken at a vigil for you. So you should take these and go through these in your own time because there could be some tears involved, I'm just saying. So do that at your leisure. And finally, there is a medallion.
This medallion comes from Baron Larry. I can't call him anything else. What everybody knows him calls him. The legacy of this medallion begins with the Venerable Duchess Mistress Sedalia McNair, awarded in AS 18. Lawrence Thorngord, AS 22. Duke Sir Gavin Kilkenny of Kilcarran, AS 26. Baron Master Colin Monroe of Tadcaster, AS 49. And now it will sit on yours until you find someone that you deem worthy of
That
this legacy.
So at this time, we will hear your oath or your field promise of service. Thank you.
I, Prudence the Curious, do offer my service and my words to you as my crown. I offer my heart to your kingdom to carry forward as long as they will have me within their borders. And I offer my
For our part, we shall seek out your counsel in times of need and listen to your counsel and you give it to us in turn. We shall be a stone that you may use as shelter, as a bolster, and to keep you from harm. We shall be a foundation beneath your feet so that you shall never falter as you tread this path. And you have only to come to us and ask for assistance as you need. This we so swear till death take us, the world end, or we depart the throne.
This we so swear. Take your hat for a second.
All right.
I have.
Rise.
I'll get the box.
No, it's the feet and the skirts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, this is Prudence, yes.
Something to read.
I got an egg!
Hail Atlantia today we and the companions induct Prudence the Curious into our Order of the Pelican through her extraordinary service and devotion. We affirm her right to bear these arms, vert, an egg, argent, and a chief embattled oar. She is entitled to all the insignia, rights, honors, and duties of this peerage. Done this 26th day of June, Anno Societatis 51, for coronation at our barony of Sacred Stone. Design, illumination, Pasanki, and calligraphy done by Baroness Philomene de Lys.
Vivat's and meet the order.
For Mistress Prudence the Curious. Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
That will spill out, so hold the egg very gently.
Here.
We'll put this back on the table. Very easy. I'll get her later. Tell her we'll give it to her.
Box?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Put it back in there. It's underneath. Or it was underneath.
So while we introduce the candidate to the order formally as a full member, it does make you feel good to see it happen. It's been a long time. This is wonderful.
All right. Can we go ahead and...
Nope.
Nope, gotta wait. I'm so used to things moving fast.
I know. We're moving at the pace of people now, not the pace of
Oh, the
information.
camera. Yeah.
Yes.
Words, words, words.
That's what I said. Is we're just a bunch of old cats when somebody needs a laser point.
That's it.
Okay, let's call it the next one.
Oh, call in
Call the order.
call in him first. Call him.
Tugging away.
Their Majesties require the presence of Lord Humphrey Matthew Lovett at this time.
He's grown a beard, so you may not recognize him.
Here he comes. He's like, hey, how you doing?
You smell my pigs, don't you?
Lord Humphrey, you have been an exceedingly hard gentleman to pin down.
I apologize, Your Majesty.
I have been trying to have some words in business with you for over a year, and I am very glad I'm going to need that. Could you please?
Their Majesties call forward the Order of the White Scarf.
And if we would ask White Scarf members to join over here on the right-hand side.
Take this back now. Cut that off if you want.
I was going to say.
His arm or the scarf?
Either.
We can use it as a tourniquet if we need to.
Giant.
So all this is happening. I have known Lord Humphrey many years and have watched him progress in the rapier community. His fighting has increased over those years as I've watched, and he's always done it with a ready smile and a ready hand to help others. He teaches, he fights, he travels when we could travel, which has been part of the problem in pinning down. And as is his right, he wanted to receive his award in person. And so we're so glad that finally we get a chance to do that today. So, is there a scarf?
Yes, ma'am, there is. May I get his lady?
You may.
Around his neck.
Did we find that one?
Yes.
Okay. Lord Humphrey, congratulations.
Thank you, Your
And
Majesty.
welcome to the world of the White Scar.
Thank you.
There are, do you have a medallion?
I don't have medallions.
Okay.
We just get scars.
We just give scarves. Oh, that's right. It's on the scarf. It's on the scarf itself. Scroll?
Oh, yes.
Shall I read it?
Yes, please.
Piercing steel rings throughout the mighty kingdom of Atlantia. This is the sound of the art of defense. King Anton and Queen Linnet have heard witness of a gentle and induct Humphrey Matthew Lovett into the Order of the White Scarf and name him Provost of the August Order. We grant him arms to wit, Profess, Gules, and Azure, 3 seagogs, rampant or. We set our hands this 26th day of June, Anno Societatis 56, at the coronation of Eckehard and Jane. Done by Mistress Esperanza Susanna Fletcher.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
For the newest member of the Order of the White Scarf,
Him first.
Vivant! Vivant! Vivant!
Sorry, I'm not this one.
Still working on them courtly arts. Your Majesty, yes. You are absolutely correct.
You're a White Scarf. You should play in the hand. Congratulations.
You can go in the shade if you want.
Their Majesties would be attended to Lena de Luce.
Lady Alexandra. Hello, Morgan.
Of their barony of Ravens Cove, and small services to welcome new citizens and enrich the lives of their populace, especially in times of the plague. Such must be recognized, and therefore do we induct her into our Order of Day of June, Anno Societatis 56, at the coronation of our heirs, Prince Eckehard and Princess Jane.
Thank you very much. Vivants.
Vivants! For Lady
Put it in there.
Lady
Alexandria.
Alexandria.
Vivant! Vivant! Vivant!
It ain't easy being easy.
Their Majesties call forward at this time Lady Juliana at Ockham and Mistress Alexandria Wright.
Go in here for them.
You go, I'll do it.
Alexandria's not here. So, this reign, we put into place a little something called an augmentation of arms called a narwhal. And we did that because so many people, have stepped forward during this pandemic to just continue carrying the banner of Atlantia and to keep people engaged and excited and to give them hope. And Lady Juliana held the first event back in the 1st of June, Storvik Novus, that we could have once we could gather together again. And it was probably nightmarish. In fact, I know it was nightmarish trying to coordinate, and the site had restricted it to 50 people, and then like a week and a half before they raised the limit, and it had to be pre-registered. So she handled it with grace and aplomb and dignity, and she was just so wonderful throughout it. So we'd give you a token. This is a token that we have made up for the narwhal, and you can work with the heralds.
Your hands.
You can work with the heralds for your arms. For Mistress Alexandra Wright, she's not here. That's our clerk of precedence. I I can safely say that of all the people in Atlantia who've had to deal with this pandemic, she's been one of the most hard hit. Every time we've lost a member, it's been she who's had to update the OP and see it, okay? So it's been brought home to her more than anyone. She sees that list. And she has been diligent, and she has kept up with court reports during this very odd time, and she too has worked, and we will award her also the augmentation of arms.
Thank you.
For Lady Juliana and Mistress Alexandria, the newest to receive the augmentation of the narwhal. Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
Do you have a presentation, ma'am?
Call her forward.
Mestra Esperanza Susanna Fletcher has a presentation now to make.
Step out so they can hear you.
Their Majesties have allowed me a boon in court, and I just want to personally thank all the scribes that continue to provide scrolls during this time, during this reign. I appreciated working with you so much and seeing the amazing work that was presented court after court. And I thank you very much.
I am sure that many of you have enjoyed the slideshow presentations. You can see the scroll so clearly and see such beautiful and moving artwork from the scribal community in Atlantia. All right. Yes, please.
For the scribes and those who have made it possible, the scrolls keep coming. Vivat! 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 Their Majesties call forward at this time Sir Jocelyn d'Outremer and Master Eldred Elthwith.
So neither of these two gentles could be here today. Master Eldred had a family emergency. He was supposed to be our court herald, and Mistress Geese gracefully volunteered to assist in his stead. These two gentles have shown throughout this plague time. Sir Jocelyn he took over the role right in the beginning as Earl Marshal, and he led the way for martial activities. He went through the policies so that people could still have unofficial activities and safety. He worked with all the groups equally, and he helped everyone understand the new framework as far as the martial activities and what we had to deal with moving forward. And indeed, you saw, for those who watched Crown Tournament, he contributed greatly to that. People fighting in masks, the safety protocols, everything. Master Eldred, Triton Herald, has been an invaluable source of inspiration and knowledge for us. Wanting to do an augmentation, to do something for all the people who had stepped forward. He's the one who came to us with the idea of the narwhal. And I know he worked with Mistress Allison, who's here. Thank you, Mistress Allison. To bring that was monumentally key to Crown Tourney coming off and the whole virtual procession and the virtual tree, everything that happened. Both of these gentles have been so gracious. They have had nothing but kindness for us. We have watched them deal with, questions and emotions that everyone has had as a result of this pandemic in their jobs. And I have been so moved that I would like to award today both of them my Queen's Order of Courtesy. Nice. And I think we have scrolls, and though they are not here to get them, we will make certain that they receive them.
Be it known to all men that Sir Jocelyn d'Outremer makes our hearts smile with shows of great love and courtesy. For his worthy deeds and perfect gentleness do we, Linnet, Regent Atlantia, Bring him into our order of courtesy done this 26th day of June, Anno Societatis 56, at spring coronation. I don't know who did this. She didn't sign it.
Okay, that's
Next one? Yep, read the next one.
Be it known to all to whom these letters come that we feel well loved on this last day before retiring. We choose to recognize Eldred as he was an unwavering source of support throughout our reign. Volunteering at every opportunity, he made the tourney for crown and virtual procession possible, as well as providing guidance on awards, virtual peerages, and courts. Thus do we, Queen Linnet of Atlantia, induct Eldred Elspeth into our Queen's Order of Courtesy, done this 26th day of June in the 56th year of our society. For the newest recipients and well-deserved to the Queen's Order of Courtesy, Eldred and Jocelyn. Vivas! Vivas! Vivas!
So I want to take a quick second and just make sure and share a little story and make sure everyone understands the sacrifice that great officers make. We use that term, great officer, and they all have jobs, and we look at them and they have a lot of authority, and we look to them for guidance, and we think, wow, it'd be great to have that job one day. These folks work hard. They have the same family challenges the rest of us do, the same work challenges the rest of us do, and they put in additional time. I remember when we went to Sir Jocelyn and said, would you be Earl Marshal? He took a day or two to think about it, and he said, understand that I have to give up crown tourney. It's sacrifices to do these jobs. And though they may not always make the decision we might want personally, they always, I assure you, make the decision that they believe is in the right heart. So for that, as we near the end of our term, I'd like to say thank you to all the great officers that have served and all that will serve in the future. It is a job without enough thanks. So, thank you all.
Vivas to the great officers all! Vivas! 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 Their Majesties call forward at this time Cicely Tremaine and Deborah McKelly. Apologies, Michelle.
McKelly,
McKelly.
you can bring the puppies.
I'll take it.
So, you, both of you, have been a tremendous help to me. Cecily sat down and arranged a whole book for me to arrange all my courts and organize everything. The awards, the courts, she had everything laid out, every virtual court, every event that we were supposed to plan. And she also helped design and come up with ideas that we put forward to the kingdom as challenges and things. Lady Deborah assisted us. She retained for us. She weekly helped us getting ready. She was a huge benefit and assistance to me, retaining, fetching, doing anything that we asked.
Mailing scrolls.
Mailing everything, mailing scrolls, addressing scrolls. And for this, I would like to award both of you my undine. Thank you so much. And dog walkers. Dog wranglers.
As the soothing voice of the Undine calms men, so has the service of Cicely Tremaine calmed and assisted us during our reign as Queen of Atlantia. We, Linnet, are minded to recognize her for such service with our personal token of the Undine. This we do on the 26th day of June Anno Societatis 56 at spring coronation, calligraphy and illumination by Lady Fuin von Amsterdam, Unfortunately, the other one has gone walkabout and will come to you shortly.
I believe the brownies in our castle have hidden it. But I shall bring out some milk for the brownies, and they shall return it.
Vivat.
Vivats for these good ladies having received the Undine. Vivats!
Vivat!
Vivats! Their Majesties call at this time Master Melchior Zumgarn Wolf.
So I know that I don't need to tell anyone in this kingdom what Mel has done for this reign. I cannot. The man deserves 5 breakdowns, at least, for everything that he has gone through to make everything work. I think from the very first, our virtual coronation, he hit the ground running and he never stopped. I can't say enough. It was such a tremendous amount of pressure. And he really shone. He came to the forefront. He worked with the university staff to make university work. And, you know, we had like 600 to 800 people at those universities. It was just an amazing amount of dedication to his office. And anytime I asked him for things, and I did all the time, I would message and say, I need to know how I can do this. How can I get this done? And he would say, well, Your Majesty, I can have this done in ESP, or I can talk to so-and-so and get this done. He always worked it out for me. And so today I would also like to give him my Undine. I was so impressed. He was so amazing. I could not have wished for a better web minister during this time.
Undine chants her spell across the waves to wrap us up in peace despite the storm. So Melchior guided us through peril's paths and kept the fires lit along the shore. Now Linnet Queen surveys all her court and sees him as a beacon to her folk and offers him her shining mark to wear, so all may know of his work that is good as good. Let all Atlantean know that Master Malcolm Zumgrauenwolf may bear the Undine henceforth, awarded this day on the occasion of spring coronation. Wordsmiths Olam, Linnea, Igni, Kerrigan, and Lady Eleanor de la Rochelle. Calligraphy and illumination by Lord Ari de Bourgnes.
Vivat.
For Mel. My gosh, what would we have done without him? Vivat! 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 Their Majesties call at this time His Grace Duke Bedford, Michael of Bedford.
He was here.
He is here, we saw it.
You're right. You're right.
Some things never change. I'm a little better at not hearing.
Majesties, I never promised to be on time.
Right here, you're right.
Right here? Oh no.
Right here.
Oh no. Should I just lay my head over and like this?
What can I say? Yes. I can say you're in trouble, but you're not in trouble. Well, you might be in trouble for something else, but you're not in trouble with me right now.
Okay, I'm not in trouble with you right
You're
now.
not in trouble with me right now. When Anton and I started this reign, we realized that the Book of Laws was quite a mess. It had just had a lot of iterations and things hadn't been cleaned, and there were things on the books from old days that weren't used. And
Conflicts with Kapora.
conflicts with Kapora,
policy.
conflicts with Win itself. Things weren't where they made sense. And I came to you and I asked for your help because you were so well versed in the laws, and you know, you started this, right? Started the book. And you worked with me. And it took months because I was not always good about wanting to sit down and work on the laws. Imagine that. And His Grace was very patient with me. And He said, I will make myself available anytime. And He did. And He and I went through those laws. And there were times when we did not agree. And He would discuss and he argued, and I would argue back, and then I said, yeah, I don't agree. And he was like, Your Majesty, it will be as you wish. You know this. He was always gracious. He was thoughtful. He had a lot of experience and knowledge that the kingdom and I have come to rely on. And he helped in other ways too with the ESP system and doing testing. Anything we asked, you did. And for this, I would like to award you my Undine.
Oh, thank you.
We, Leonard, Queen of Atlantia, being mindful of the personal service and assistance of Michael of Bedford, hereby give him our personal token, the Undine. The burdens of the crown have been much lightened by efforts done by our hand this 26th day of June, the event, Spring Coronation.
Your Majesty.
Thank you, Your Grace.
May I be dismissed?
You going to take this?
No, I'll take that to go. I didn't know whether I was getting it to go or not. So I didn't want to make the assumption.
For Duke Michael of Bedford, receiving the Undine. Vivant! Vivant! Vivant!
Call both of them in.
Their Majesties require the presence of Lady Margarita Marie de Chanel and Duchess Adelheid Fuchs.
Your wife. Duchess Adelheid Fuchs!
It is,
My apologies, Your Majesty. I was carrying on a conversation about buildings.
it's a household tradition, I think. His Grace was just here and late. Ladies, early in this reign, it became clear to us that it was going to be a very, very different kind of kingdom for the next year or so. We did not envision how long it would take or what would be needed, but one of the very first things we did is we called up Her Grace and we said, we need a virtual platform. We need something set up that people will go to and people will use. We need things of interest on that page. We don't know what it is, and we don't want to write it. We need you to reach out, find people, put quality work out there, give us a calendar or a schedule. Crap, make up stuff if you have to. But make it a place that people could go and stay connected with their kingdom. No disrespect for the Acorn at all, but the Acorn comes out monthly. The world we're in talks daily. She put together this platform with the help from the IT team. But it's the content. It's the ability to connect artisans with students. It's the ability to connect what's going on in one kingdom and another kingdom that set the example. The number of kingdoms that contacted us, just myself, and asked, can I copy this? Can we take it? There was 6 kingdoms that did it. I don't know how many contacted other people, but I know they've all stolen it. Which they should, because it's good work. This work helps sustain a kingdom. We met you about halfway through. We had struggled to do quality virtual events. We were struggling with video, we were struggling with the audio, and just in general with what does it take to make things work well. How can we improve the presentation? You didn't take the approach that some, what you're doing looks like trash. You said, let me help. Let me do this. I've got this now. You don't need to do anything. Go sit down and give me a sound test, Your Majesty. You managed me very well.
That is a talent.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But more important, you managed a whole herd of people that had ideas about how to do this well. And you've set the example at our most important events to do a great presentation. And hopefully set the table going forward for how we will do it. So for both of you, for what you did for this kingdom, I'd like to award you my King's Award of Excellence. Thank you.
A kingdom is built on the foundation of its people, especially those who quietly support in the background. Marguerite is one who provided much assistance for our virtual courts, which were a mainstay of our reign. We are very grateful for her work. For this we, King Anton, recognize Marguerite Honorée Duchesneau to our King's Award of Excellence. Let all unto whom these presents come know that we, King Anton, understand well the trials and tribulations that come with working the interwebbing of communications within the kingdom and society as a whole. We are eternally grateful to our Duchess Adelheid for giving of her time and talents to create, maintain, and improve virtual Atlantia during the time of the plague to keep this kingdom united. Both are done by the hands of Mistress Mordrea Tremaine.
Thank you. Vivat for both.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
For Duchess Adelheid and Lady Marguerite. I'm sorry.
Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
It's a lot. Let's go.
So I have another KOE that I'd like to award. I know she's not here, but I know she's watching. Quite honestly, we would not be here today without her. I know that sounds like a bold statement, but after we stepped up as king and queen, we needed to find a seneschal. We did not really have candidates.
We did.
Had a few toward the end. Contacted Simone and said, would you consider doing it again? She said she would. As we said before with great officers, they have to make decisions. And with a decision, there's always some people that like it and some people that don't. That's part of the nature of making decisions. But I can say this, I have never worked with anyone who has worked more hours, harder, and on behalf of a people as what she has. She has been a constant voice for Atlantia at the society level, and she has been a constant voice working with us and our heirs and the Baron and Baronesses and helping us stay on track. So I would also like to award Duchess Simone a KOE.
May all who draw nigh to hear our words know that we, King Anton, greatly value the support provided to us. Duchess Simone providing extraordinary assistance during the time of the plague that was invaluable to us. Thus are we, Anton, King of Atlantia, of a mind to bestow upon Marie Simone de Bargeville our King's Award of Excellence, bestowed by Mistress Mordrea Tremaine. For the experience that she brought us and the willingness and grace that she gives each task that she takes up. Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
Mistress Claire.
Their Majesties call forward Mistress Claire de Cressy.
Mistress Claire contacted me last week and said she had some business for Her Majesty. Naturally, I said yes. So,
30 years ago, when the two of you stepped up to your first coronation, my husband, Baron Eldred Tremaine of the Order of the Laurel, presented Princess Leonard with our Archer's Combat helmet. A few years ago, it returned to us to be refurbished. Eldred did not complete that job before he passed away 2.5 years ago, but I did it recently, and I'd like to return it to you. And the stand is for you too. In your last chord, I think it's fitting for you to get it again.
It is just as beautiful as I saw it the first time. It has my arms on it, and purple, of course.
And black and
I
white.
love it. And black and white, my colors. Thank you, Mr. Clare.
Thank you.
Mrs. Clare, don't leave. We also have business with you. For many years, you have been running what I consider a finishing school for kings, queens, dukes, duchesses, peers, all people of the kingdom. You've supported yourself with your art, but you have taught a nobility and you have taught a love of doing it right. You had a partner in this, but you've never stopped. I know through all the peers that came from my house, they all went through your house. They all learned why it was worth the effort to make garb, why it was worth the effort to understand the time period you're from, why what we're doing is more than a pair of sweatpants and a fighter's tea tunic. It takes work, it takes effort. But your finishing school has made peers throughout this kingdom. It has recently had 3 kings serving at the same time that went through your school. For that, you have no peer. Read the scroll.
We graces 3 observe gracious works. I, patron of the feast, Euphrosyne, with sisters' generosity and cheer. Thank you. Caris and Thalaia, respectively, do tidings joyful bring to Decressy, the maker of much good festivity, spiced wine or rich broth, both ambrosia be, divine like us in service to true love. Thy gift, sweet hospitality, doth gleam more brightly than with what gold the temples store. Heady aromas fly to where we dance, not soaring oaths, nor duels of moments' passion, nor piteous weeping ballads stir our steps, or hearts as they might woo our Lady Venus. 'Tis plenty, mirth, and giving freely done, which stirs us, the spring awakes the world. In thee the Leah finds a brimming hearth, which fills before the feast with roasting meats, and after the glow of well-banked smiles, which laughter sparks to reignite again. Thy constant offering to Euphrosyne, our sister Therese, works in 3 as well. For scholarship and artistry thou hast, but not like Faustus, twisted for his greed, nor proud Pygmalion's vanity corrupt. Sweet favor fuels thy splendid works, instead the beauty which then spreads throughout the world. Ladle loom doth touch. Thy cornucopia has no resting place, but lives and breathes, expands the more it fills, echoing in its depth, thy bounty sings the rhythms of thy gentle heartstring song. 'Tis that soft music harmonized by each warm voice that thy here gifts uplift, which grows the strength and rises to our ears. So to that chorus must our minds be moved, their lyric, that thou, Clare, are peerless proved. So as their ardor to crescendos swell, we join the throng and name thee nonpareil. Calligraphy and illumination by Lady Colfina Valraven. Poetry by Lord Ishmael Steadfast Reed.
Mistress Clare, I thank you, and our kingdom thanks you. Vivas.
Speechless.
For this good lady who has brought so much good to our society, not just our kingdom. And if nothing else has moved our king to tears. Vivas!
Vivas! Vivas!
Let all who see you know that you are without equal.
Thank you.
We'll give this to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can take it. I would take it too.
Thank you.
Vivats.
Vivats! Vivats! Nonpareil! Vivats! Nonpareil!
Those three.
Their Majesties at this time would be attended by Duke Ragnar Blackhammer, Duchess Lynette Samir, and Mestre Esperanza Susanna Fletcher.
We don't really have words, and we certainly don't have appropriate gifts that represent what you have done and the sacrifices that you have made. It is within our power to grant each of you a KOE
And an undine.
We could not have done this reign without you. There is just no simple other way to say it. We have all needed to lean on each other's strength, and we have all done it. We've all leaned on each other's counsel, and we've all laughed at each other. It is with the greatest amount of love that we say thank you.
Rise, fair citizens!